You gonna hit me? Rolled up his fist and he said, I'm going to hit you. And I was just like in shock, like I couldn't believe, that he was even talking to me like that.
Dr. Haroon Rashid was charged with 2 misdemeanors, including assault and battery and preventing someone from calling 911. He took a plea deal with deferred sentencing on the assault and battery for a year. But his lawyer says the video doesn't tell the whole story, claiming Grant had aggressive and inappropriate behavior. For more on international, national, state, and local news affecting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app, or log on to BINnews.com. Follow the BIN on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Black Information Network, and on Twitter at BlackInfoNet. I'm Esther Dillard, along with Mike Island, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Now here's Morgan Woods with your Healthy Minute. Health experts say staying hydrated is the best way to combat the summer's high temperatures, but drinking water unfiltered could also pose a danger. New federal data shows nearly half of the nation's tap water contains so-called forever chemicals. A national study recently released by the U.S. Geological Survey shows that a group of chemicals known as PFAS were commonly found in private wells and more frequently found in urban areas, especially in California, the Great Lakes, the Great Plains, and the eastern seaboard. The chemicals are commonly used in consumer products and have been linked to cancer, thyroid disease, and other illnesses. Earlier this year, the EPA announced an effort to restrict and regulate forever chemicals. Purchasing a water filter could also help reduce those risks. That's your Healthy Minutes. I'm Morgan Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Because trust matters. This is BIN, the Black Information Network.
Bay Area, BIN 910.
Anna Bailey made history as the first Black dancer to perform at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas during the 1960s. Before moving to Las Vegas, Anna frequented the Apollo Theater in New York City, a hub for African Americans during the Harlem Renaissance. At the Apollo, she met Pearl Bailey, a famous actress who encouraged her to go to Las Vegas to further her career. Anna danced her way through the 1950s and 60s, booking shows at the Moulin Rouge and integrating shows at the Dunes and Flamingo Hotel. Les Brown's band, Lionel Hampton's band, so it was really the talk of the town. Along with her husband, she faced discrimination and hostility in Las Vegas, but maintains that it never affected the way she carried herself. Anna traveled and danced across state lines and continents, leaving her mark in every location. Today, at 94 years old, she looks back at her career feeling fulfilled and instilled with the confidence to walk into any room. And that's a fact. I'm Felicia on the Black Information Network.
9:10 a.m. KKSF, Oakland, the Black Information Network.
Tell your smart device to play Bay Area's BIN 910 on iHeartRadio.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Over 42 million Americans are under heat warnings this week. Extreme heat is already hitting the southwestern states, including California and Arizona, and the dangerous conditions are only expected to get worse. In Texas, a new state law passed this year bars homeowners associations from excluding renters who receive federal assistance paying their rent. The Providence Homeowners Association last year barred landlords from renting to Section 8 tenants. Most of the neighborhood Section 8 renters were black, so critics saw the rule as racial discrimination. Wall Street is closing higher as investors brace with the start of second quarter earnings season. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 209 points at 33,944. The S&P 500 added 10 points to 4409, and the Nasdaq rose 24 points to 13,685. That's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
I'm Terry McCready.
And I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Attorney Ben Crump joining the family of Jarvion Hudspeth in a news conference calling for transparency about what unfolded just moments before Hudspeth was killed. Hudspeth's mother speaking with Fox 13.
He wanted to get home. He was so close to home. I just hope it was quick. I hope he didn't stop because I know he was there.
Crump and the family calling for Sheriff Floyd Bonner and the Shelby County, Mississippi Sheriff's Department to release body cam and dash cam video of the neighborhood traffic stop that led to Hudspeth's death under a cloak of subsequent questions.
More details about a mass shooting in Philadelphia Joseph Lombard Jr. was gunned down on July 2nd. 40-year-old Kim Brady Kerr Riker then randomly opened fire the following day in a neighboring community southwest of Center City, killing 4 other people and wounding 2 children. He's charged with 5 counts of murder and attempted murder, possession of a weapon without a license, and carrying a firearm in public.
The city of Memphis attempting to stop a civil lawsuit filed by Tyree Nichols' mother and his estate.
The motion was filed saying the city was not responsible for Nichols' death, adding that it was 5 rogue police officers. Nichols was beaten by Memphis police during a traffic stop and died from his injuries days later. In the lawsuit, the city said that it does not condone the actions of the officers, but added that the city itself should not be held liable. Nichols' mother filed the $550 million lawsuit against the city, officers, and police chief. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
The Clarence Thomas saga continues. As it appears, the Black Justice's undisclosed wealthy connections go beyond billionaire GOP megadona and Nazi enthusiast Harlan Crow. The New York Times reports that Thomas used his relationship with Scholarship Association, the Horatio Alger Association of Distinguished Americans, to score VIP events and luxury vacations. Some of the elite freebies included mixing it up with Oprah Winfrey and Ed McMahon during an exclusive 3-day birthday celebration in Montana for billionaire industrialist Dennis Washington, and enjoying the Florida waterfront estate of former Berkshire Hathaway investor David Sokol.
A lawsuit that was looking for reparations related to the 1921 Tulsa race massacre has been dismissed. The case was filed on behalf of the last 3 survivors of the assault, which was carried out by a white mob in a Tulsa community called the Black Wall Street. At the time, roughly 300 black people were killed in that incident, and Oklahoma judge dismissing it last week with prejudice, saying she agreed with the defendants who argued the plaintiffs did not suffer individual effects from the massacre. For more on these stories and international, national, state, and local news affecting the black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. On social media, follow the BIN on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Black Information Network and on Twitter at BlackInfoNet. I'm Carrie McCready along with Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
I'm Gator Gunner on the Black Information Network. 1908, a group of black and white leaders joined together to form a new permanent civil rights organization, the National Association for the Advancement of the People. NAACP. February 12, 1909 was chosen because it was the centennial anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. Since its inception, the NAACP has worked to achieve its goals: fiscal system, lobbying, and peaceful protest. In 1910, Oklahoma passed a constitutional amendment allowing people whose grandfathers had been eligible to vote in 1866 to register without passing a literacy test. The NAACP challenged the law and won a legal victory in 1915 when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that grandfather clauses were unconstitutional. In 1954, the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, led by Henry Marshall, argued the Brown versus Board of Education case, where the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the separate but equal doctrine in public schools. And that's a fact. For these stories and more, go to BINnews.com. Stories you trust from people you trust. Visit BIN, the Black Information Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Vanessa Tyler, in for Natasha Williams, on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. This is going to end deadly, as Richmond police warn whoever is in the house to come out. They go room to room back on June 28th. Just released body cam shows the last bedroom was where Kevin McDonald was waiting. The 66-year-old sitting on the bed, police say, aiming an AR-15 style rifle, locked and loaded. With that, McDonald was dead. Police chief, African-American Lisa French, says the gun he was holding was not the only one in the house. They found a mother lode, including more than 1,000 rounds of ammo, a live pineapple-shaped hand grenade, and the chief says lots of other weapons.
A subsequent search of the residence resulted in the recovery of 53 firearms. 48 of those firearms were recovered in Mr. McDonald's bedroom, 17 of which were ghost guns.
Police suspect he was manufacturing and selling the guns. McDonald, who was a felon, wasn't even on their radar. They were there to get a couple of weapons belonging to his roommate when the police-involved shooting went down. Help is needed to find an arsonist on the loose in Gilroy. Police say evidence shows a rash of suspicious fires recently were set on purpose. No one was hurt, but property was damaged at several locations across the city. Anyone with information is urged to call police. A Bay Area family is dealing with the worst kind of tragedy. Their 2-year-old is dead, dying right outside her home after being run over by a car. Vallejo police say a family friend was backing out of the driveway when she felt she hit something. The driver and others rushed the toddler to the hospital, but it was too late. Police have ruled out drugs or alcohol. This is the city's 3rd deadly traffic crash of the year. Your kids will be riding electric. The state announced millions will go to upgrade regular old gas-polluting buses to EV school buses. It's a collaboration between the California Air Resources Board and the California Energy Commission. California currently has more than 560 clean school buses on the roads, and more than 1,200 are in the process of being built. The state is aiming to reach net zero carbon pollution by the year 2045. The open seas are waiting after summer vacation was temporarily put on hold for 3,300 travelers who had to stay docked when their cruise ship, the Ruby Princess, hit Pier 27 while docking, causing damage to the vessel and the pier. The big ship is being checked out, and once given the okay, will set to the ocean again. Destination, Alaska. For more local, state, national, and international news impacting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeart Radio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Vanessa Tyler in for Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
African American patients only have a 25% chance of finding a bone marrow match. Make a difference and join the National Bone Marrow Registry at bethematch.org. That's bethematch.org. Our news all the time. This is BIN, the Black Information.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
Born Betty Gray Mabry in Durham, North Carolina on July 26, 1944, Betty Davis was a force of nature. At 16, she attended the Fashion Institute of Technology and began working as a model in New York, a career she would maintain while building her music credentials, which include writing the Chamber Brothers' Uptown. In 1968, she would marry Miles Davis, who would credit her for introducing him to Jimi Hendrix and Flintstones. His jazz fusion phase would soon follow. After their divorce in the early 70s, Betty Davis would release a series of hard-charging funk albums. Her candid and controversial expression of black female sexuality would be barred from U.S. TV and receive no radio support. But the door has been kicked open, and thanks to Betty Davis, countless magic house continue to it today. Got a story that affects our community? Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN.
Elevating voice. It means that you're qualified.
Stories that matter to our community. Nurses at New York City's 11 public hospitals have spent months fighting pay. Mortality rates were present between 1999 and 2019.
You hear about it on the Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeart Radio app.
The first step in a successful job hunt is crafting your resume. An effective resume showcases the skills most desired by employers. Be sure your resume highlights important skills like computer competency, technical abilities such as programming languages, or management experience. The Black Information Network and Career Builder launched the 100,000 Careers Initiative to empower Black job seekers to take that next career step. To learn more about crafting the perfect resume, book a free one-on-one job coaching session today at careerbuilder.com/BIN. That's careerbuilder.com/BIN.
iHeart Radio goes one-on-one with John Legend to find out which artist in music today inspires him most.
I'm a big fan of Frank Ocean's album, Channel, which I think it's a beautiful album and it's inspiring.
Subscribe to iHeartRadio for more of John Legend and all your favorite artists.
Speak out about what's happening in your community. Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN. The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees.
I'm Mo Kelly on BIN with your 2-minute warning. David Axelrod, former senior advisor to President Obama, tweeted Friday that Dr. Cornel West could help send Donald Trump back to the White House. Each election, there's always concern about the impact of a third-party candidate like Ralph Nader, Ross Perot, Strom Thurmond, John Anderson, Pat Buchanan, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson. You know the names. They've represented all ends of the political spectrum over the years, but none of them have ever or will ever sniff the Oval Office. As a practical matter, it is difficult to qualify to appear on ballots in all 50 states or to get adequate campaign funding and, by extension, ground campaign infrastructure. Third-party candidates are rarely invited to nationally televised presidential debates with top candidates of the major parties, but they can garner enough votes in a purple state here or there for Donald Trump to emerge victorious and swing an electoral count, how arguably Jill Stein did in 2016 and Ralph Nader in 2000. Dr. Cornel West and I have known each other personally for almost 20 years. I say that not as a boast, but as someone who is intimately familiar with his gravitas and respect he carries in certain political circles. Other candidates would avoid debating him with good reason. He is a rhetorical wizard, and West will garner decent cable news coverage on all the cable networks. In short, he would be a problem. Oratory is more powerful than actual civil servant bona fides these days. He is a champion of the people and a truth teller, but a champion who can't win in a nation in love with lies. I am proud to call Dr. West a personal mentor, but Axelrod is right. West could very well hand Donald Trump the Oval Office. I'm Mo Kelly at Mr. Mo Kelly on social media, and that's your 2-minute warning on the Black Information Network.
Original Black reporting. This is BIN, the Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Doug Davis, and here's what's trending. Black actor Harper Hill is planning to run for U.S. Senate in Michigan. The Good Doctor actor, who also hosted HNL's primetime series How It Really Happened, is running as a Democrat. That's what's trending on the Black Information Network. Sports on the Black Information Network.
Victor Wembanyama is getting some NBA action after making his summer league debut for the San Antonio Spurs this past weekend. Bill Schoening, who is the voice of the Spurs, says the team will be patient in developing their 19-year-old star.
This is a guy that I think has got a very, very bright future, and I don't think they're going to skip any steps with this guy. They want to make sure that he develops the right way.
Schoening goes on to say the Spurs are excited to grow around Wembanyama.
Obviously, the future is very, very bright. The excitement is palpable right now.
The French basketball prodigy joins a team that includes many players in their second or third year. Wembanyama was selected first overall in the 2023 NBA Draft. Elsewhere in basketball news, the Minnesota Timberwolves have locked down one of their 2 second-round draft picks. The team signed Leonard Miller to a 4-year contract over the weekend. Miller was the 33rd overall pick in the NBA draft this year. He scored 16 points and had 11 rebounds for Minnesota's 102-88 Summer League win over the Pelicans on Friday. The Wolves will continue Summer League play. And Jay Crowder is returning to the Milwaukee Bucks for another season. The team signed the veteran forward to a 1-year deal recently. The 33-year-old Crowder played in just 18 games with the Bucks last season after being traded from Phoenix. The Bucks have also signed second-round draft pick Chris Livingston to a 4-year deal. Sports at 14 and 44 minutes past each hour. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Achieving a combined 12 #1 albums and 7 #1 singles, Cash Money Records is one of the most successful labels in the history of hip-hop. Founded by brothers Byron Birdman Williams and Ronald Flynn Williams, the label would lift the Louisiana rappers to local stages of national acclaim. Juvenile, BG, Dirt, Bulletproof, and later Lil Wayne would form the Hot Boys and would catch the attention of Universal Records executives. Resulting in Cash Money's first big windfall in 1998. And while the success came with some dissension, the label remains relevant today by signing Nicki Minaj, Drake, and DJ Khaled.
Mystery moment, I'm
king. In this very moment, I slay Goliath with the
In
slave.
May of this year, Cash Money Records donated over $225,000 to Forward Together New Orleans to help pay the June rent for hundreds of tenants residing in various projects around the Big Easy. This is Frankie Darcell for the Black Information Network.
Got a story or just want to leave us some feedback? Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN.
Entertainment news on the Black Information Network. Rapper Saweetie is the latest celebrity to be serenaded by Usher at his Las Vegas residency. A video posted on Twitter showed Saweetie vibing out to Usher's hit song, There Goes My Baby. Fans speculated she didn't want to get too interactive with the performance to prevent backlash from her rumored boyfriend, YG. This comes after a recent incident where Keke Palmer was called out by her boyfriend and son father, Darius Jackson, after she was seen at the Usher concert in what he deemed a suggestive outfit. In other celebrity news, Lil Uzi Vert is going on tour. The Pink Safe Tour boasts 17 dates and is the first headlining tour for Uzi since 2018. It kicks off on October 21st in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and wraps up on November 22nd. With the latest entertainment, I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
I'm Tariq Lowe with Maybe You Didn't Know. The 6888th Central Postal Battalion, also known as the 6888, was created to deliver mail to American troops in England. Mail across the pond in World War II generally had bad addresses or was sent to the wrong people with common names. Service members weren't getting their mail, which caused morale to suffer. Plus, there was a 6-month backlog in the postal warehouse. That's why this battalion was created. Maybe you didn't know that the 6888 Central Postal Battalion was an all-black, all-female unit. Major Charity Edna Adams led the women of the 6888. Black women were permitted to travel overseas to serve their country in '44, and this battalion was eager to contribute. It was dangerous. This was a war zone, and there were injuries, close calls, and deaths. The 6888 pressed on, working long hours, 7 days a week. They were ruthlessly efficient, blowing through that 6-month backlog in just 3 months. I'm Tariq Lowe on the BIN.
When trust matters, count on BIN, the Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm John Marshall.
Then,